already know who it is, the one, the only Mr. L Selector back at it again. So we're gonna talk about the fight that just happened between our guy over here, Tszyu, and Sebastian Fundora. Or yeah, that Sebastian Fundora. Shouts to Sebastian out there, honestly. You already know, fellow tall man. Dude's like, I don't know how tall. He looks like he's at least 6'7". He's a monster out there. But yo, salute to him though, for real. He ended up winning. He ended up getting the victory, and he did win the fight today. So kudos to him. I did have him win the fight. Salute to Tszyu, man. Honestly, like, you know, things happen, right? That was the cards he was dealt with, right? You know what I mean? Like, first we got our guy over here. Keith Thurman. He shouldn't have even taken the fight with Keith Thurman, but whatever. He took it. Keith Thurman ends up, quote unquote, getting injured in training. So Sebastian Fundora comes in there, and he has to come in there and take over. You see what I'm saying? And he ends up getting the victory. Salute to him, coming off that devastating knockout. He got knocked out his last fight, but he came back today and got the victory. So kudos to him. And now he's the he got the belts. You know what I mean? He got that 154 WBC. He got the WBC, and he got the is it the WBO or the WBA? He got one of those titles over there. But kudos to him. Honestly, he got two of those titles. So salute to him for that. But let's talk about the fight that happened. Okay, so Tszyu came in there. I had Tszyu first round. Tszyu got him. Tszyu was cooking. Tszyu was cooking early. Like, Tszyu was setting he was setting the stone. Like, he was setting the momentum of the fight. So he was out there. He was basically controlling the pace of the fight, and he was out there dictating. Like, let's be real. Sebastian was kind of like, he's trying to feel him out. So I had Tszyu winning that first round. Second round, Tszyu gave him one shot, bro. His head went bounced back. Like, he gave you that, you know what I mean, like a bobblehead. That shot, he even Sebastian felt that. Sebastian was like, okay, all right, you got me. So yo, I had him winning that basically that second round as well. Tszyu had that second round. For whatever, I don't know what happened in that second round, but there was at the end of the round or something. I don't know what happened, but Tszyu got elbowed or something. He maybe got hit. He got hit in the, I don't know, like in the head. Tszyu needs to grow his hair, bro. Like, honestly, bro, because you see what I'm saying? You got the Caesar, low Caesar. You know what I mean? I know you're feeling breezy and it's feeling nice over there, you know? Head massages must be feeling real good. But at the same time, though, you're like, you know what I mean? You could get prone to these kind of things, right? He ended up catching an elbow on the head, and he just had a huge gash on his head. And it just started leaking all over his face, and he was bleeding through. He literally bled from second round all the way right until he's going to be bleeding until tomorrow. They got to go stitch him up. He was leaking. It was a bad leak. And then Sebastian was leaking. He comes out the corner. He's leaking from his nose. He's like leaking from his nose, and the blood's coming out of his mouth. So both guys are basically bleeding. Like, so it turns into blood, guts, and glory type fight. You see what I'm saying? Life and death type stuff going on over there. So now the momentum comes in. And oh boy, that fight shifted. As soon as the blood came in, Tszyu basically is fighting with he has to, every 2 seconds, he's fighting pretty much blind at this point. He has to keep wiping the blood off of his face because it keeps just gashing down to his face. So, and going into his eyes. So he's having difficulty seeing, unfortunately. So, and you could see how it affected him while the fights and the rounds were going, right? And you could just see it. Immediately, the momentum just shifted. It was like a totally different fight. It went from one fight to now it's like survival mode. It's like, okay, I got to fight. The adrenaline's there, but now I'm in surviving now. Like, I got to like wipe the blood off my face. And then you see the blood leaking all over Sebastian. But then, and then on top of that, Sebastian's bleeding from I don't know if Tszyu popped him. I think it was that shot popped him and busted him open. Comes out of the corner, he's bleeding. So that third round comes. Sebastian starts giving those jabs. He starts attacking. He starts controlling the pace. Let's be real. Sebastian's jab game was, he did everything he was supposed to do as far as a fighter. When he sees a situation like that and these circumstances occur, now he utilized what was going on and basically saw the weak points and went in for the gusto. And that's what he did. He basically started to use that jab. And then I had him winning that third round. Then the fourth round comes. I have him winning that fourth round too. Bro, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Tszyu couldn't fight, bro. Like, they should have probably even stopped that fight. Honestly, there was too much blood. But I get it. You know what I mean? There's money on the line. You know what I mean? You got DraftKings. You got Vegas. It's in Vegas. So obviously there's a lot of money on the line. Of course, there's gamblers all over the world putting money on this fight. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of money that needs to be made, right? You know, I didn't look at the lines or anything. I should have done that, but I didn't even look at it. But you started seeing where the fight shifted. Like, it shifted, and you started seeing the difference, and you started to see how Tszyu basically he started to like he basically started to he was, don't get me wrong, he was connecting, but he was getting outlanded by the jabs. Tszyu was throwing some big shots, big bombs. Like, he was throwing some big bombs. He was throwing, but at the same time, the work rate of Sebastian was kind of outpacing Tszyu. Tszyu didn't really. I had it because eventually it was kind of like it got to the point where it was like the fifth, sixth, seventh. Not until the eighth round. That's when I had Tszyu winning that round again. So I had Tszyu winning the eighth round. You see what I'm saying? So it was like so Sebastian went from fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I had him winning all those rounds. And then the eighth round came. I had Tszyu winning that. But the problem was Tszyu was fighting with all this blood in his eyes. He couldn't see what was going on. He was literally fighting blind. He was literally he would come up, they'd clean him up good. And when he goes into the corner, and then as soon as he gets back in the thing, he comes back in the fight, he's leaking again all over his face. Like, he starts a couple maybe 40 seconds go into the fight, he's leaking again. And then by whatever, 2 minutes in, a minute in, minute and a half in, he's leaking all over the place. So basically, you see how that was basically affecting his vision and whatnot. And Sebastian was just utilizing those jabs. Tim will throw he'll throw the big shots, and he'll come in with counters as well too. Tim's a good fighter, man. He's a really, really good fighter. Like, you can see he's a very, very skillful, like, father, like son. You know what I mean? They're Kazakhstanian, and I think it's Australia or New Zealand. It might be one or two. I'm sorry if I make a mistake, but I believe it might be from Australia if I'm not mistaken, right? Or either there or New Zealand, but I don't know. But I do know, but I don't know. You know those ones, right? I forgot. But anyway, so basically, yeah. So they're really good fighters. He's a really good fighter. You could see a lot of the skill in him, and I like to see him fight even more. I like when you fight these different, you get different looks. You start to see different styles and different fighters, and I think he has a really, really good style. I think he's a really good boxer, and I like to see him again fight this guy again, because I believe if he's not leaking, we might see a different kind of outcome. You see what I'm saying? But that's neither nor there. But at the same time, though, Sebastian was getting those jabs. He was doing those jabs. He was getting those jabs. He was getting those jabs. And I think those jabs, and he was outpacing him. Don't be wrong. There were some shots that were missing. There were some that weren't landing. But at the same time, he was getting them. Tszyu was throwing a lot of shots too, but some of that wasn't landing either. But a lot of them there was a lot of shots that were landing as well. His percentage, I believe Tszyu had a higher percentage as far as landing goes, but Sebastian threw the more jabs. You see what I'm saying? And basically that changed the dynamic of the fight, and the referees seen, they seen the obvious, right? Like, I don't know. They had one ref had a split decision. One ref had, I think, 113 or 112 or something. They gave it to Tszyu. I don't know where he got that from, but that's neither nor there. At the same time, though, yeah, so the eighth round, I had Tszyu. Tszyu started just cooking him. He started boom, 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 landing, giving him some good shots, just getting on him. He started spanking on him. He spanked on him. He got him out of here. And that round he had him. And then the ninth round came. It was kind of like those jabs started continue to come in. And then the 10th round as well, Sebastian was just eating with those jabs, and he had the higher punch volume, and he looked like he had the more higher work rate just from the eye test. And then afterwards, the 11th and 12th, it was virtually kind of like the 11th and 12th. If you want to say Tszyu maybe won the 12th, I don't know. 11th, he won. Sebastian had that, and then the 12th, I had Sebastian winning the fight, bro. Unfortunately, Tszyu just kept every 30 seconds. He was every second he kept doing that. He's wiping the blood off of his face. He was leaking. It's unfortunate that's the way he had to lose his titles. But it's boxing, right? You have to prepare for that, right? Grow your hair, man. Tszyu, man. Grow your. I know you grow it, bro. You ain't your hair. You don't have a receding hairline or anything like that. So grow your hair when you come into the fights. So you know what I mean. And at the same time too, You know, it's unfortunate, and I mean, I know it's tough because it's like, what the heck? I want to see him fight Terrence Crawford, man. I want to see some stuff like that, but they could still fight. But at the same time, I want those belts. Those belts bring more to that fight. Yeah, they could do the fight. They go to Australia, they go to Nebraska, or in Las Vegas. Guys will see it anywhere. It can be in New York, wherever. But at the same, people will want to go see that fight. But at the same time, it's kind of like he needs to go. I think he has a rematch clause from what I heard. So if he has a rematch clause, I think it's important that he exercises a rematch clause so he can go out there and actually get that second opportunity, or that second chance to do that. And I think that's very important for him as a fighter. So I'm looking forward to seeing the second fight. I see Earl Spence running in the ring like, yeah, let's get it on, bro. You haven't even go get a tune-up fight, man. You got annihilated, man. Terrence Crawford humiliated you, bro. You know what I mean? And then now you're running to 154 to fight this guy. This guy's gonna cook you. Go get a tune-up fight. Go get some guys. These guys will get you out. Tszyu will get him out of here quick. Earl Spence can't beat Tszyu. No, he can't. No, he can't. Earl Spence cannot beat Tszyu. Tszyu's gonna spank him. Tszyu's gonna beat the dog, beat the brakes out of him. No way in hell. Not from that last fight. You know what I mean? You were at 147 for too many years. And then now you're trying to go up to 154? Some people are saying you were a weight bully. Some people said, and then you got beat up by Terrence Crawford, who was climbing up the weights. You were at 147. Terrence Crawford was like at 135. Like literally, he was at 135, 130, 135. He caught up to you. Now Terrence Crawford's at 154. And now you're just going up to 154. Terrence Crawford beat your ass, and now he's at 154. You've been at 147 virtually your whole entire career. Since I've seen you, I think you went to the Olympics at 147. So, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about, man? You're going to go try to fight one of these guys? Let these guys either run it back. Let them run it back, because I think that's a fight that needs to happen again. I think the second fight needs to happen, and then we can see the outcome. I get why they want to promote Spence versus this guy, but at the same time, I think Tszyu deserves that second fight, because let's be real, man. You know what I mean? Tszyu might have done something different if he wasn't bleeding. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can't take nothing away from Sebastian. Sebastian did everything he was supposed to do, and that's the one. And he used that height. He did what he was supposed to do. He's not giving him no knockout part. He's just fighting the sweet science. He's out there just, you know what I mean, utilizing jab, coming in with some combos. Tszyu got them nice combos. But Tszyu, when he hits you, you hear the thumps, the boom, boom, boom. He's a heavy hitter, so you really hear it. So that was a good fight overall, man. Honestly, you know, that was probably, if that's the way they're going to start, PBC is going to start Amazon Prime. That was a good fight. Amazon Prime, PBC, pay-per-view. Very good fight. I like that. Nobody could sit down and say that was a crap fight at all. Honestly, I'm just keeping it a beam with you guys. Yo. Anyways, I'm signing off. Adios. Congratulations to both those guys. Well, hopefully we see them back again, doing it again. I'm out. Peace.